right, guys, we are on to the final lab, which is Lab 5, Warming in the Boreal Forests. And this is I believe it's a 4-part section. We're only going to do the first 2, though, so the end is near here. We're going to take one day to do part 1 and one day to do part 2, and then we will be moving on from our dendrochronology section here and talking about leaves. So, part 1 is exploring tree ring sites around the world. And we've used this website before in other parts of the lab. You can see all of these little green triangles here. That denotes an area where they have a tree ring site set up. So take a look at the sheer number of tree ring chronologies that have been made publicly available by the scientists who originally collected them. Tree ring scientists contribute their data to the ITRDB to make the data available to other researchers and to be sure that there is minimal overlap of their research efforts. They don't want to be coring the same trees over and over again. There are thousands of tree ring chronologies collected from around the globe, although you can see most of them come from North America and Europe. Notice that there are also places where there is very little data, parts of South America and Africa, for example. Sometimes this is because old trees don't grow in these regions, or the trees that do grow do not produce annual ring marks, making them unsuitable for tree ring studies. It is also possible that the logistics of collecting old trees in these regions can be extremely difficult. So here's South America, and you can see that there are a lot of countries that don't have any tree ring sites. This is going to be Africa over here, and you can see there's a ton up here in Europe. Let's explore this tree ring data a bit more. In this activity, you will focus on tree ring data from the northern latitudes, where trees are sensitive to changes in summer temperature. And you will notice, or you will learn how to find this data in the ITRDB. You will then use online resources to do some background research on the scientific investigators that contributed to the ITRDB by searching for peer-reviewed literature about the tree ring sites that you chose to investigate. So part 1 is really quite small. We're going to go to the database here, and it says scroll to the interactive map link and click on it. So here's the interactive map, and we've used this map before. Okay. Once you're at the paleotechnology map, click on Identify option in the Paleo Network Tools box. So I do want to go through and I want to make sure that I have tree ring selected there. And we're going to go to the Identify box. Choose 3 tree ring sites to explore that are located in different regions in the northern latitudes or boreal regions. Look at the map of the boreal forest in part 1 of this lab if it is helpful. Look at Alaska, northern Canada, and Siberia, etc. When you are in the Identify tool, you can just click on the tree ring site, which is the green triangle that is of interest to you. Once you click on a site, the metadata for that site will appear on the left-hand side in the Results tab, and you're going to record the name of each site, the investigator's name, and its coordinates, latitude and longitude, in the table provided in your answer sheet. So when you go into your Google Doc, you'll see a table there. There's actually enough room there for 4 different sites, even though they just say to do 3 here. Then you will select one of your 3 sites for further study, and after choosing it, you're going to click on Access Data to reveal the details of the science expedition. Record the following information on your answer sheet: the elevation of the site the scientists were investigating, the span of the tree ring cores at the site, and the species of trees that were cored at the site. So this is what it will look like as you're clicking on these rings, or on those triangles. You'll see the names coming up. And this has your location, which is your latitudes. The site name is going to be up here, and the investigators right there. So the study name, you won't need to worry about that until you're getting ready to look at the research paper. So I'm in here. And it needs to load again, it looks like. But you'll just be clicking on these little green triangles. If for some reason, whenever you're going through here and you don't get anything, maybe your map is completely blank, which did happen to me once, you're going to go into this search for a location area and type in Siberia or type in Canada. and it should pop up with some type of a tree ring. Use my zoom in key here so that I'll actually be able to click on a triangle just to show you how the data is going to pop up, even though there is an image of it on the main website. There we go. So here is Flomatone Natural Area. My investigator is Jay Cush, and here is my latitude and my longitude. So you'll do that. You'll click on a couple different ones. I click on this one. This is the Rambulet Mountain. T.A. Knight was the investigator, and the latitude and the longitude. So you'll need to do that for a few more until you have all of yours marked up, written down, and recorded. And we're going to research with literature with Google Scholar, which you've also used once before. All scientists and graduate students do a literature review before they start new research projects. Scientists first ask what has already been done and then figure out how to build upon that work to disprove it. In this section, you'll do some additional research on what has been published about the sites you chose. Right-click to open Google Scholar. So I'll open that up in a new window. This site is a search engine that students and scientists use to research what has already been published on a topic. Type in the name of one of the investigators that you identified in the paleoclimatology data map in the search box. Add the words tree ring after the name. One of the first things to note is how many times a publication has been cited. The more times it's been cited, the more times it's been used. It may or may not be a bit more reliable. So let's see, I have T.A. Knight. I'm going to go to Google Scholar here, and I'm going to type in T.A. Knight. Oops. And I need to add tree ring afterwards. There we go. So a bimillennial length tree ring reconstruction of precipitation for the Tavaputs Plateau in northeastern Utah. So I would write that down as the title of the paper, and you could pick any of these if you want to. And a summary. Whenever you're doing that, you are just going to be reading the abstract of the paper. There we go. Which is just this paragraph here. You do not need to read the entire article because it's going to contain a lot of science jargon, again, that you're not going to understand. So just tell me bare bones in 2 sentences or 3 sentences, what is this paper about? If I read the whole thing, what are they talking about? And the abstract is technically a summary of the paper, but please don't copy and paste the abstract to the paper. Shorten it up some. That is all you're going to be doing for part 1 of this lab. I will meet you back here again with part 2.